on, y'all? It's your boy BTA Boxing, and I'm back again with another one. I need you guys to do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stop that. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy BTA Boxing, and I'm back again with another one. I need you guys to do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon for more videos like these in live. Let's get into it. We got a lot to talk about in the sport of boxing. I haven't really been active on my live. I need to be more active on live. But anyway, let's get into it. Uh, so much to talk about in the sport of boxing. Let's start with Keyshawn Davis for a second. Keyshawn Davis, one of the ring ambassador in the sport of boxing. Keyshawn has really been promoting himself. He first started off by making those funny videos about him looking for Devin. He says, "Where's Debo at?" I'm pretty sure you guys seen that video. He says, "Where's Debo? Debo got hit with a brick. Guys, where's Debo?" He even went to the house. I don't know if you guys seen the movie Friday. If you've seen the movie Friday, you'll know what I'm talking about. Keyshawn Davis even went to the house where the film was filmed at. He picked up a brick. He picked up a brick, and he was like, Debo better be careful. You know what happened to Debo at the end of the movie? Debo got hit with a brick because Devin Haney is being called. Devin Haney is being called. Gabe Rosado is cooked. What do Gabe Rosado got to do with anything I'm talking about? Technique 539. What do Gabe Rosado have anything to do with what I'm talking about, bro? I don't understand that comment. Do you see Gabe Rosado anywhere in my title? Yeah, but that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about though. I don't care about Gabe Rosado fighting right now. I'm talking about different people, not Gabe Rosado right now, buddy. Anyway, um, Devin Haney. Damn, who was I talking? I was talking about Keyshawn. Keyshawn Davis was looking for Dev. Said Debo got hit with a brick. He even went on vacation, right? This is crazy. He went on vacation in the middle of nowhere, and he's yelling at the top of his lungs, saying, "Debo, where is Debo? How you gonna find Debo in the middle of nowhere, bro? You're literally in the woods streaming Debo. How you gonna find Debo in the middle of nowhere? You're in the woods streaming, saying Debo, Debo. I'm confused. I don't know why the heck he did that, but he's literally in the middle. He's in the middle of the woods." Screaming Debo, Debo. And it didn't make any sense to me, bro. I was like, yo, what's up? What's up with Key? Why is he doing that? Like, do you really want to fight that man? Because I don't think Debo going to pop up in the woods where you at. Bro, he was in the woods near a waterfall where nobody's at. Debo's definitely nowhere to be found around there. If you want to find Debo, why you ain't go to California and go look for him? You in the middle of the woods looking for him. But anyway, he's been hanging out with all these streamers, been getting his name out there, hanging out with guys like Oblivion and all of these streamers, right? Kind of the same streamers that Ryan Garcia hangs out with. So, um, he sparred. He sparred. What's his name? Aaron the Plumber. He sparred. He sparred Aaron the Plumber. He beat up on Aaron the Plumber. He sparred Bruce Carrington. Um, and then he recently just said some out of pocket shit. He said Mexicans run the sport of boxing, which makes absolutely no sense. How? When we talk about all-time great fighters, the only all-time great fighters people really put in the all-time great conversations is Julio Cesar Chavez. And maybe they squeeze Canelo in there, But when you talk about all-time great fighters, you don't mention a lot of Mexican fighters. Man, I'm not even trying to be funny. You don't mention a lot of Mexican fighters when we talk about the all-time great. When we built the all-time great list, the only guy we truly put on there is freaking what's his name? Um, Julio Cesar Chavez. He's the only guy we truly put on there. Other than that, we don't really put nobody on there that's Mexican. So I'll be so confused, bro. What is Keyshawn Davis talking about? And moving forward, that's another story. I'll get on Keyshawn later. Interview just resurfaced with Devin Haney talking about Jerron Boots Ennis, right, guys? So in this interview, Devin Haney goes off on Jerron Boots Ennis for ducking him. He was like, "Yo, this Ennis guy ducked me, man." He was like, "I agreed to the fight," and this is what I don't understand about Jerron Boots and his fans. You guys act like y'all don't know what's going on, or y'all act like everybody's avoiding him. But then there's all these fights that he turned down, and you guys try to ignore that. So Devin Haney, there was an interview from Devin Haney that resurfaced, and I've talked about this before. Devin Haney agreed to fight Jerron Boots Ennis when he was moving up to 147 in his first fight, not his second fight. His first is literally his first fight. He said he agreed. Turkey Al Sheikh offered him the fight. The numbers and everything was agreed upon, and Boots turned the fight down. He was like, "Nah, nah, I'm not interested in fighting Devin Haney. The only way I'll fight him if he comes to 152." But nobody does interviews. No, I mean nobody does these videos, or none of these reporters question Jerron Ennis on the fact that he ducked the Devin Haney fight. Where are the reporters? Where are these people? Where's YSM for him to question Jerron Ennis for ducking that fight? Why are you trying to fight the guy at 152 when you were the champion at 147? When the guy's moving up from 140 to 140, he's never even fought at 47, but you wanted him to fight you at 52. Where's YSM Sports Media? Where are all these people that are Team Boots Ennis and never check him on that situation of him turning down the Devin Haney fight? And the crazy part of that interview, Devin Haney went off on Boots. He was like, "Who the freak is Boots? Who is this guy? For him to tell me I got to come up to 152 to fight him? He's a nobody." And Devin Haney is right. Boots hasn't made anything close to what Devin Haney is making. Devin Haney last fight he made $12 million versus Brian Norman Jr. What's the most money Jerron Boots Ennis has ever made in his career? He's never made anything close to $5 million. The guy was making $100K a fight until he signed to Eddie Hearn. Then he started making like $1 million or close to $1 million. But he's never made anything close to what Devin Haney's making. So when Devin Haney says, "Who is Boots?" he's right. Who is this guy? He can't tie Haney's shoes right now when it comes to popularity. And Devin Haney's also a good fighter. So when he says, "Who is Boots?" he has all the right to say that. You understand what I'm saying? He has all the right to say something like that. Like, who is Boots? What has he done to tell me, Devin the Dream Haney, to come to 152 when I want to fight him at 147 for his belts? And you people never speak on this. You allow this man to duck, maneuver his way in the sport box, and then continue to fight guys we never even heard of. And you people allow this to happen, and you never check this man, which is disgusting. The same situation happened, guys. The same situation happened, right? What happened? The same. We watched the same situation happen, guys. Right or wrong? Turkey Al Sheikh. It involved Turkey Al Sheikh, right? Let me tell y'all what happened. It involved Turkey Al Sheikh. The same situation happened that involved Turkey Al Sheikh. Turkey Al Sheikh made Jerron Boots Ennis versus Jerron Boots Ennis versus Turkey Al Sheik made Jerron Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz fight. Right? Y'all remember that? Virgil Ortiz agreed to the fight. He he signed his end of the bargain, end of the deal. He said, I don't Virgil Ortiz did an interview. He said, I already signed. I'm ready to fight Boots. This was before the Oscar De La Hoya situation, where Oscar De La Hoya is saying 60-40 for Virgil. This was way before. This was this was when Turkey Al Sheik just came into boxing. He made Boots versus Ortiz. Jerron Boots Ennis turned down the fight and says, I don't want to fight him right now. I'm gonna fight Stanionis. And nobody talks about this shit. You people act you just wanna this shit really pisses me off, bro. This shit really pisses me off. You people just come on here and just ignore the fact that this guy keep turning down fights. And he's fighting guys we've never even heard of. Yet you guys are gonna come on the internet and say, oh, everybody's ducking Boots. What the freak? Turkey Al Sheik made the fight with Boots versus Ortiz. Boots turned the fight down. Are you serious? This is why Turkey isn't working with Boots right now. You people piss me off when it comes to box. This shit really piss me off, bro. Every time I talk box, like you boxing fans are disgusting individuals for the sport. Y'all act like y'all don't follow the sport, bro. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Why do y'all act like y'all don't follow the sport? Carlos Rosado, salute. GQ, salute. MBK, they make excuses for Boots and Tank, then clean motherfuckers ducking. That's another guy they make a lot of excuses for, Javante Tank Davis. Boom, Bad Streets, what's up, fam? What's going on, bro? This is why Turkey Al Sheik is not working with Jerron Ennis. He has made two fights for Jerron Ennis, and Jerron Ennis turned those two fights down. The first fight was the Virgil Ortiz fight. Jerron Ennis turned that down. The second fight was the Devin fight. Jerron Ennis turned that down. He also tried to make Jerron Ennis versus Teofimo Lopez fight. Jerron Ennis also turned that fight down, saying, I can't get up for a guy like Teofimo Lopez. You can't get up for Teofimo Lopez, but you can get up for Usima Lima Boots. Yo, where is this YSM guy? Why he can't ask this guy? Where's these reporters at? They need to ask Boots what the freak is wrong with Boots. They need to ask. They need to ask. We need fighters. Yeah, the guys in my city. Shit, I should go to his gym and ask him the tough questions. They're gonna kick me out of the gym so fast. I should go to his gym and ask him the tough questions. I'm thinking about it. I'm debating. I might go to his gym and say, yo, bro, MBK, I'm from Philly too. Boots on some turkey shit. Me too, bro. I'm from the Biddy too. He definitely is on some turkey shit, bro. He ducking all these fighters and fighting guys we don't even know. That he said that's why Boots don't do interviews. Exactly. That's exactly why he don't do interviews, bro. Cause he gonna get caught up. If he do interviews, he gonna get caught up. Boom Bad Street says you should. Your channel will blow up. Listen, man, I'm gonna go up there, but he gonna try to spar me, bro. Y'all know he gonna try to spar me, right? Like he sparred Sean Porter. Why is he sparring Sean Porter? He said Sean Porter. Y'all, did y'all know? He said I'm from Uptown. I subscribe, broski. Salute, my guy. I'm out west. Salute though, bro. Welcome to the channel. But listen, damn, what was I about to say? I forgot what I was about to say. Oh, yeah, you know, Boots said Sean Porter had to spar him, right? He said Sean Porter got to spar me before I do an interview with him. Bro, what? Why a retired Sean Porter has to spar you for you to do an interview with him? Come on, bro. That's not thorough. You want to put hands on this man who's been retired for all of these years, all because he's criticized you in the past. So I feel like he gonna try to rumble me too. you He going to try to rumble me too. If I go to his gym, I go to his gym. I'm like, yo, Boots, can I get an interview with you, bro? He like, oh, I be seeing your channel. You be talking shit on me. So I want you to spar me for you to get your interview. Sean Porter was supposed to be Boots' stepping stone, but he said, bump that. I'm giving it to Bud. Hold on. What you mean, Boom Bad Streets? What you mean? What you mean he's giving it to Bud? Sean Porter was supposed to be Boots' stepping stone. I'm confused. What you mean, bro? Like Boots and Sean Porter was supposed to fight before Sean retired? I know Sean and Boots was ranked really high in the WBO. Virgil Ortiz was number one, Boots was number two, and Sean Porter was like number three, I believe. Oh, okay. I don't remember that though, but I hear you. I know they was all ranked really high in the WBO though. Sean Porter was ranked Virgil Ortiz was ranked number one in the WBO, right? Virgil Ortiz turned down the Terence Crawford fight twice. Uh, the president of the WBO, Paco Vicarso, he said, I offered a fight to Virgil Ortiz versus Terence Crawford twice, and Virgil Ortiz turned the fight down twice. So we all know Virgil Ortiz ducked Terence Crawford. And then the number two guy was Jaron Ennis. And Jaron Ennis was also offered a fight versus Terence Crawford. He turned the fight down as well. He said, He said, I'd rather go the IBF route and fight for two belts versus Earl Spence. But he never tried to fight Earl Spence. He turned down his WBO opportunity to fight Terence Crawford for a guaranteed spot, a guaranteed fight versus Terence Crawford, because he was ranked number two. The number one guy refused. The number two guy was Boots, and Boots said, no, I don't want to fight Crawford. I'd rather fight Karen so I can be the IBF interim champion. So Boots would rather fight for an interim belt than a real belt. You guys know that? He fought Karen for an interim belt. He became the IBF interim champion instead of fighting for the WBO championship, the real WBO belt versus Bud. He was ranked number two, guys, and he turned that fight down. Nasty work from Boots, right? He turned that fight down. And then the number three guy on the list was Sean Porter, and Sean Porter accepted to fight Crawford. So Crawford ended up fighting Porter instead of Boots or Virgil. Both Virgil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis turned down the Terence Crawford fight. The only guy that was able to step up was Sean Porter. That's why we got Sean Porter versus Terence Crawford. But boxing fans don't follow the sport of boxing, so they don't know what goes on. Right or wrong. This dude, Duck Bud, then tried to play a role. Hey, yo, MBK, salute, bro. Man, you one of the realest guy from the biddy that's keeping it real right now, bro. Bro, I don't fall for the narrative, bro. I'm one of them guys too. I don't fall for the narrative. And it's great to see that people from Philly, they see through the bullshit from Boots. Like, we know he ducked that smoke, bro. We know he ducked that smoke, bro. He was ranked number two. He said he'd rather fight for the IBF belt. Why would you rather fight for the IBF belt when we all knew you wasn't going to get the Earl Spence fight? You could have got the Terence Crawford fight. He ducked that fight, bro. He ducked that fight. He ducked Crawford. He ended up fighting Karen. He got an IBF interim belt. He removed himself from the WBO rankings. Damn, Canelo fans still ain't pay you. Devo, salute. Boots Ennis need to move on, bro. Devo, salute. Yeah, Canelo fans hasn't paid me. I bet this one girl $30,000, bro. Bro, I bet this one girl, bro. I bet this one girl 30K on Crawford versus Canelo fight. It was a Mexican chick. She came on my live one day and she said Canelo's gonna knock out Crawford. I said, how's Canelo gonna knock out Crawford? He couldn't even knock out Charlo. And Charlo's a much lesser fighter than a Terence Crawford. In fact, Earl Spence is on. There's a rumor that Earl Spence used to knock out Jermell Charlo on spar. Used to punch on Jermell Charlo on spar. I said, come on now. We know what Earl Spence was doing to Charlo. Canelo couldn't even stop Charlo. How is he gonna stop Terence Crawford? This girl, she came on my live and she said, listen, Canelo's just too big for Crawford. He's gonna knock him out. I'm like, listen, I don't want to disrespect you because you're a female, but you're 100% wrong. Canelo's gonna get the belt. She never, she never paid me. Canelo got beat. She ran off with the bag. $30,000. She ran off with the bag. She even tried to tell me where she live at. She work at a restaurant. Her family own a restaurant in Minnesota. I never heard from her since that fight. She was coming on my live faithfully every day for the Crawford versus Canelo fight. Then after the fight, she just disappeared, bro. Completely disappeared, bro. Nasty work. Nasty work from this Mexican chick. She ran off with my 30. She ran off with 30 bands. She ran off with 30 bands, bro. Boots, should fight Madrimov. Yo, that's a great fight. I want to see Boots versus Madrimov. What happened to Bud EJ rematch? Hey, yo. EJ got beat so bad. The man retired for 3 years. Ain't no rematch. Ran off with the bag. Devo, yes, sir, man. She ran off with my money, bro. Ran off with 30 racks. Another guy bet me 10K on Instagram. Right after the fight, he blocked me. So I'm missing upwards to like 40 grand for the Canelo versus Crawford fight. 40, $50,000. I'm missing. I had all these other bets. Bro, I literally bet everybody. And after the fight, they all blocked me, bro. They all blocked me, bro. The Mexican chick blocked me. The Mexican chick blocked me. Some boy blocked me on Instagram. They ran off with $50,000 in bets. After the fight, if Crawford would have lost, they would have been right at me. They would have had me on a payment plan. I would have had to come up with 50 racks. All these people ran off with the bag. You feel what I'm saying? They didn't pay me $1. The only person that paid me was Boxing Nerd. Me and Boxing Nerd had a bet, and Boxing Nerd he paid me my money. So shout out to Boxing Nerd. And I owe Boxing Nerd some money too. It wasn't off of a fight. Uh, I was going through some hard times because I had went to jail because my baby mom she called the cops on me. I caught a domestic case. I did like 7 months. When I came home, I ain't had no money in my pocket because I lost all my money being in jail, spending money on commissary and all that stuff. So when I came home, I didn't have no money. I asked Boxer for some money. He helped me out, you know. But I didn't pay Boxing Nerd his money back on time. But he went around telling people I robbed him. But I recently just paid Boxing Nerd his bread because I'm a man of my word. And not only did I pay Boxing Nerd his bread, I double his money. So I owe Boxing Nerd $75. I gave him 100, almost $140 because I owe him for that long. You know, you got to be thorough out here in these streets. Even though he went around saying I robbed him, I was just in the financial difficulty. Eventually, I was gonna pay the guy. I ended up paying the guy $140 back, and he gave me 75. So I literally double his money. But yeah, man, I'm still missing a lot of money from the Canelo versus Crawford fight. I only bet in person, and I knew where you stay 100%. Boom, bad street, salute, man. That's why I don't bet these on. They gonna run off. Oh yeah, for sure. They gonna run off with the cheese. Of course, bro. Without a doubt, they gonna run off with the money. Yeah, man. You can't bet on YouTube, man. These dudes don't keep their word. They gonna run off with the cheese, man. So we got breaking news in the sport of boxing. Ryan Garcia and Shakur Stevenson are not able to come to terms. Ryan Garcia said Shakur's trying to put a rehydration clause on him, and he's not going to fight Shakur if Shakur put a rehydration clause on him. He says Gervonta put a rehydration clause on him. That's why he lost to Gervonta. We know that's a lie. You still would have lost to Gervonta. Rehydration clause or not, you still would have got cooked. Styles make fights. You do the same bad habits over and over. Maybe you probably would have never got. Maybe you probably would have not got knocked out, but you still would have got cooked. You still would have got hurt versus Gervonta. Even if Gervonta didn't have a rehydration clause on you, you still would have got cooked, bro. Styles make fights. You keep spamming that left hand over and over. You keep spamming that hook. All Gervonta got to do is time that, get under that, and just counter you with an overhand right because you don't bring your hand back every time you throw your hook. Ryan Garcia is the only guy that throws these crazy hooks and never bring his hand back to his chin. He just spammed the hooks over and over again. I like to fight guys like that. Me personally, I like to fight guys that use the same punch over and over. I love fighting guys like that because, like, why would you think you're going to hit me with the same punch over and over? If I allow you to hit me with the same punch over and over, I must have a low boxing IQ. Because I know it's like you knowing exactly what a person is going to do and you allow them to do that, which is kind of what happened with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Devin Haney knew exactly what Ryan was going to do and he allowed Ryan to do it. I don't get it. I don't get it. You know, you knew Ryan was coming with the left hook and you allowed the man to hit you with the left hook because you couldn't keep your hand up because you kept doing that bow and arrow jab. It is what it is. Devo said Ryan would have got cooked anyway. Tank was a punk for that, though. Boom with bad streets. Hey, yo. Yeah, I didn't like it either. I didn't like the rehydration clause, but Ryan still would have got beat up. Shakur should be fighting Gary Antoine Russell, but he said he might move down and get Moritalia. Listen, either fight is good, but Shakur versus Ryan is a big fight. So if Shakur want to be in another big fight and have his name buzzing, I think the Ryan Garcia fight is the next move. You know, but if he wants to go back down and fight Raymond Moritalia, I'm not against that fight either. I like that fight. Shakur Stevenson versus Raymond Moritalia. I like that fight. I want to see Shakur versus Raymond Moritalia. That's a great fight. It's going to be kind of similar to Shakur versus William Zepeda. Raymond Moritalia is a big boy. He's going to come. He's going to bring a lot of pressure. He may not throw as much punches as William Zepeda, but he's gonna try to walk Shakur down. Shakur's gonna have to stand his ground. You know, so that is a great fight. I want to see Ray versus Shakur. Um, Shakur versus Gary Antoine. Another similar fight. Styles make fights. Gary throws a lot of punches, but he's just too wild. That's his problem. He's just too wild. A guy like Gary Antoine Russell, you just got to punch in between his punches. and you'll hurt him or knock him down because he throws these wild hooks, bro. He just be like he just bull rush you and just start throwing crazy punches. Like I don't know. It's like, damn. I'm trying to think of something like it's like a rock'em sock'em robot type shit where you just gotta wind them up and then all these punches are being thrown. That's what Gary Antoine Russell reminds me of. The guy just runs as soon as the fight starts. The guy just runs right at you and throw like a million punches. Like he try to wear you down. Like it's the funniest thing ever. I mean, but it's very entertaining though. Fans like it. I won't knock it. The fans do like it. But it's just the fact that, I want to see him use his jab a little bit more. He's a good fighter, but he needs to use his jab a little bit more. I don't see too much jab from Gary Antoine. So all Shakur got to do is just punch with him in between his punches to keep him off him. You got to punch with him. He's coming with all that dumb shit. You punch with him in between his punches and keep his ass off you. It's going to make him think twice. And Keyshawn should get a belt at 140. Who would you like to see Keyshawn fight at 140? Andre MN7BX. Salute, Andre. He said, hey, gang, I'll never forget. You've been saying it for years upon years that Bud was going to whoop all these niggas. Hey, yo, Andre, salute, bro. Yeah, bro. I've been trying to tell him, bro. The one fight that I really wanted to see from Bud was Bud versus Tim Tszyu. Yo, I had so many bets for the Bud versus Tim Tszyu fight. Because I remember Crawford and Tim Tszyu was supposed to fight, but Tim Tszyu turned the fight down to fight Sebastian Fondora. Bro, these Australian dudes came to my channel. They was trolling the shit out of me, bro. These dudes from Australia. They was like, Tim Tszyu's going to knock out Crawford. Tim Tszyu is too good for Crawford. I'm like, Tim Tszyu's going to knock out Crawford? Where did you get that from? Why would you think Tim Tszyu can beat on a guy like Terence Crawford? Like, what makes you think in your mind when you watch a guy like Tim Tszyu that he has any chance of being a guy like Bud Crawford? Bro, these Australian guys had me doing videos back to back to back to back about Crawford versus Tim Tszyu. I don't understand these boxing fans, bro. They can watch one fighter and then watch another fighter and can't tell who's the better fighter. It just doesn't make any sense to me, bro. There's no way I'm going to watch this guy and watch this guy and can't tell you who's the better fighter. You watch Bud and you watch Tim Tszyu. You can clearly tell who's the much better fighter, who's the more complete fighter. It's not rocket science. It's not saying you got to sit down and really like focus on the TV to be able to tell who's better than who. It's night and day, bro. It's night and day. Crawford and Tim Tszyu is literally night and day. You can easily tell who's the better fighter just by watching the two fight. And we know styles make fights. But boxing fans, leave it up to some of these boxing fans. They're going to talk with their emotions instead of talking with the facts. So I really wanted to take a lot of money off of the Tim Tszyu fans. But Tim Tszyu ended up getting beat up by Bakram Martazaliev, and I didn't get to take money off of them guys. They probably wasn't going to pay me like the Canelo fans didn't pay me and the Earl Spence fans didn't pay me. All these fan bases, they talk all this shit and don't pay no money, bro. They talk all this shit. They do these bets and they don't never pay up, bro. You know how much money I will be making off of boxing if all these boxing fans, if they pay me my money, bro? They'll never pay me, bro. They come on my channel and they troll the shit out of me every day. They say, oh, man, you got Crawford and Earl Spence right. Don't mean you know anything about boxing. I remember this one guy came to my channel, bro. Listen to this, right? This one guy came to my channel. He was like, just because you got Crawford versus Spence right, don't mean you know boxing. Devin Haney's gonna get knocked out by Brian Norman Jr. I said, bro, Devin Haney's gonna beat the shit out of Brian Norman Jr., bro. He said, we'll see. Brian Norman Jr. is from my city, bro. He's gonna beat Devin Haney. I'm like, just because Brian Norman Jr. is from your city, don't mean he's gonna beat Devin Haney. That's not how boxing works. That's not how boxing works. The man said because Brian Norman Jr. was from his city, that means he was gonna beat Devin Haney. I said, hold on, wait, let me get this straight. You're telling me you're picking Brian Norman Jr. to beat Devin Haney all because he's from your city? He said, yes, sir. I said, yo, what the? I said, yo, these boxing fans is diabolical, bro. These boxing fans are crazy, bro. The man said, I'm picking Brian Norman Jr. to beat Devin Haney because he's from my city. I said, yo, what the fuck? I said, you picking Brian to beat Dev because he's from your city, huh? And then when Dev beat him, what's going to happen? Dev beat Brian Norman, and the guy hasn't been on my channel since. He's been coping ever since the loss. I have yet to hear from that guy. He literally just disappeared. Like some people just can't take an L. They just can't take an L, bro. After Haney beat Norman, the guy disappeared. He don't even come to my channel no more, bro. He disappeared from my channel. He's like, I'm not going back to his channel no more because he was right. I hate when he's right and I'm wrong. Oh, shit. Yo, you boxing fans are crazy, man. Come on, man. Cut it out. Oh, man. Let me see. Let me read some of these comments. I want Boots to fight again. Why he not fighting? He didn't take no damage against Lomachenko. Huh? Boots didn't fight no Lomachenko. Oh, you mean Lima. Oh, yeah. He didn't take no damage against Lima. He should be fighting. He's probably looking for a guy we never even heard of. He's looking for another guy we never heard of to fight. That's why it's taking so long. He's looking for a guy we never heard of so he can fight that guy. And Keyshawn should get a belt at 140. Yeah. The fight that Keyshawn should really fight. Keyshawn should fight Gary Antoine Russell. I'd rather see that fight. Any of the champions. Andre Salute, he says, you know I'm an OG of the channel, my boy. Hope you been good, gang. Yeah, bro, I'm chilling, bro. You already know. Just trying to get back, man. I wanted to see Bud versus Pac-Man for years ago. Pac-Man years ago, bro. Bro, we was going to make so much money off of that Crawford versus Pac-Man fight because Pac-Man was going to get stopped. We seen what happened with Pac-Man versus the school teacher, Jeff Horn. Pac-Man went in there and he folded versus Jeff Horn, a freaking school teacher. You put him in the ring against Crawford, what you think going to happen to him? The man went over there and he folded against a freaking school teacher. The same school teacher, Jeff Horn, couldn't even win one round against Terence Crawford. And you want to put Pac-Man in the ring with Bud? And boxing fans actually thought Pac-Man had a chance of beating Crawford. These boxing fans are disgusting for the sport of boxing. Would in your right mind think Pac-Man had any chance of beating Crawford when he almost got stopped by a freaking school teacher and Jeff Horn, and he refused to rematch the school teacher, and that same school teacher couldn't even win one round versus Bud Crawford. Come on, guys. You boxing fans got to get it together. Tim Tszyu had a crime committed against him when he fought Bachram. Ah, no bullshit. Devo, salute. He said, nah, people were saying that. He's from Atlanta, so he's tough. Being from Atlanta don't mean you're going to beat Devin Haney. Bro, no bullshit, bro. That's what they were saying, bro. They really came on my channel, and it was like, Devin Haney's not gonna beat Brian Norman Jr. because Brian Norman Jr. He's from Atlanta. He's from the bro was like Brian Norman Jr. He's from my city, man. So he's gonna beat Devin Haney because he's from my city. I said, bro, that's not how boxing works. You can't pick a guy to win a fight just because he's from your city. That's just retarded. Just because he's from your city, that means he's gonna win. I don't think that's how boxing works, buddy. And the guy tried to argue me down every single day on my channel. I said, all right, wait till the fight happens. Devin beats Norman, and I haven't heard from this guy since. It's crazy, nasty work. What other fights are coming up, man, that you guys are looking forward to? What other fights are you guys looking forward to? I just watched the Shakur Steven. Yo, Devo, that shit was funny. Hey, yo, I just watched the Shakur Stevenson interview on Joe Rogan podcast. He said a lot of interesting stuff on there. I'm gonna try to refresh everybody's memory what he said if y'all didn't watch the interview on Joe Rogan podcast. Shakur was on there. He got a lot of credit from Joe Rogan for beating Teofimo Lopez. He even talked about the amateurs where he used to get clowned on when he lost in the amateurs by his little brother. He lost to a guy named Joseph Adorno. I know who Joseph Adorno is. He fights. He's a pro. But he hasn't really made a name in the sport. But Shakur had lost to him in the amateurs, right? And his little brother was trolling the shit out of him. Shakur was like, my little brother keep trolling me because I lost to Joseph Adorno in the amateurs. He said, ever since then, I never wanted to lose again, just so my little brothers don't troll me. He said he hated losing because of that. Every time he come home, his little brothers be like, hey, yo, don't make me get Joseph Adorno. He said, that never happened again. I'm never losing ever again because my little brothers keep trolling me. He said, they really motivated me to not want to lose ever again. That's awesome, though. I like that. The fact that Shakur said that, that's awesome. He said his little brother motivated him because they used to pick on him and talk crap to him whenever he lose in the amateurs. So he made a promise to himself he'll never lose again. He also spoke on Terence Crawford, how Terence Crawford raised his level. He was like, Bud raised my level. He don't even know that he raised my level. He was like, T-Bud raised my level he took my fight game to the next level. He said, without Terence Crawford, I wouldn't be the fighter I am today. Because when I spar with Bud and I do good against Bud, I'm like, how can anybody beat me? I'm sparring the best fighter in the world right now. If I can hold my own against the best fighter in the world, there's absolutely no way somebody's going to beat me. There's no way. He said there's absolutely no way somebody's going to beat me if I can hold my own against Terence Crawford. He completely elevated my game. Iron sharpens iron. Even though he says the first time he ever sparred Bud beat the shit out of him. He said the first time I ever sparred Terence Crawford, he beat the shit out of me. He said I was cocky, I was young, I was cocky, and I told Crawford I was going to beat him up, and Crawford ended up beating the shit out of me. That's a funny story. Shout out to Shakur for keeping it real. He said Bud put hands and feet on him, and then ever since then, it humbled him, and he just wanted to learn off of Terence Crawford instead of thinking he could beat him. But Terence Crawford helped elevate his game to the next level. So now he feels like if he can spar a guy like Bud, there's nobody in the sport that could beat him. So shout out to Shakur Stevenson. And then Terence Crawford also did an interview with Joe Rogan where he spoke on David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez situation. He said, The only reason why Canelo's not fighting Dave Benavidez is because Benavidez is too big, and Canelo is a small guy who came from lightweight. A lot of people don't know Canelo came from lightweight guys. Canelo actually started his career at 140, went all the way as high as 175, super light heavyweight. People don't know that. I don't know how you guys don't know that. That Canelo went all the way up in weight to 175, but he came from 140. That's 35 pounds north that Canelo has traveled. From 140 all the way to 175. That's 35 pounds north. Unbelievable. Canelo's definitely an all-time great fighter himself. So no matter what y'all want to say, you guys want to downplay Canelo and his accolades. You guys got to think about what Canelo has achieved in the sport. He came from 140 and went all the way up to 175. Not a lot of fighters are doing that. So shout out to Canelo, man. We got to give him respect. Even though Crawford cooked him, still got to get that man his just dues. He's put in a lot of work in the sport of boxing. That's why he made so much money in the sport of boxing. The man has made over 500 mil. And rightfully so, because he's fought some of the biggest names in the sport of boxing. Imagine, there's only one fighter right now that can say, I've been in the ring with Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. And that's Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is the only guy that can say, I've been in the ring with Terence Crawford. I've been in the ring with Floyd Mayweather. I've been in the ring with Dmitry Bivol. I've been in the ring with Sergey Kovalev. Come on now, Shane Mosley. Canelo's been in the ring with all of these big names in the sport of boxing. He's the only guy that can say that. I've been in the ring with all of these guys. I've been in the ring with GGG. So I don't understand why people hate on Canelo. He's been in the ring with some of the biggest names the sport of boxing's ever known. So you can't hate on a guy like Canelo. He's already put in the work. He's put his time in. He's done his part. So at this stage in his career, he can fight who he wants to fight. He don't have to fight a David Benavidez. David Benavidez has not done anything in the sport of boxing to garner himself a Canelo Alvarez fight. If we really want to be technical, what the freak has David Benavidez done? He's not a pay-per-view draw. He's not making as much money as Canelo. David Benavidez, his last fight versus Anthony Yarde, I think he made like 6-7 million. What the freak is that compared to a guy like Canelo who's making a minimum of $30 to $50 million a fight? A minimum of $30 to $50 million a fight. That's what Canelo's making. David Benavidez is making 6-7 million. Come on, guys. In my Canelo voice, who is he? Who is he to offer me a fight? Who is he? Who is he? He said, who is he to offer me a fight? He's a nobody. Hey, get the freak out of here. Because I'm gonna you up right now, mother sucker. Canelo funny as shit. Canelo be cracking me up, man, when he talks English. I be cracking up, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I like Canelo English accent. It's the funniest thing ever. Anyway, Crawford spoke on Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. He says that fight was fixed. He says Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul was fixed. I agree. You could clearly tell Mike Tyson was pulling his punches. He would slip Jake Paul's punches and he won't return fire. He clearly took a dive for $20 million. These are the facts. Um, what else did he speak on? He spoke on a lot of stuff, man. But yeah, man. Who y'all want to see fight next, man? I still want to see Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, man. We know the tragic incident that happened with Anthony Joshua. losing two closest people to him. But I still would like to see Joshua get back in the ring and fight. And the guy I want to see him fight is Tyson Fury. That's one of the biggest fights in the sport. Them two guys need to fight. I still want to see Joshua versus Wilder too. You know, Wilder's still fighting. Why not give us Joshua versus Wilder? We wanted this fight for years. I still want that fight. Whether or not these guys are old, at least they're not as old as Mayweather and Pacquiao. So I still want those fights. Joshua versus Deontay and Joshua versus Fury. Michael Simpson L Jr. Salute, bro. I'm chilling, man. How you? I'm chilling, bro. How you, Michael? It's a lot of stuff going on in the sport of boxing, man. There's so much to talk about. I don't even know where to start, man. I'm about to drop the link on you if you want to come up and chop it up with me for a little bit. Salute, salute, Michael. What fights you looking forward to, man? Sport of boxing is heating up in 2026. I'm looking forward to this Ja Opetaia fight versus Brandon Glanton. I want to see that fight. I think Brandon can fight, but he's not showing too much respect for Ja right now. I think he needs to show some respect for Ja because Ja is not a walk in the park. So I think he needs to show some respect for Ja a little bit. Michael, if you could come up, I dropped the link. If not, I'll talk to you another time, I guess. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that Jao Battalion fight. The IBF on some bullshit. The IBF is not sanctioning the fight as a title fight. Jao Battalion versus Brandon. All right, my guy Michael's in the back. Hey, yo, Michael, salute, man. What's going on? Oh man, he got kicked off. Are you there? I just added you, and then it like disappeared. Salute, Michael. What's going on? You can hear me? What's going on, Michael? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I hear you now. You all right? What's going on? Oh man, he got kicked off. Think the signal messing up. What fights y'all looking forward to in 2026, man? I know one fight I'm not looking forward to. Floyd Mayweather versus Pacquiao. That's the only fight I'm not looking forward to. I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not looking forward to it. That's probably the only fight of this year I'm not looking forward to. Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. I'm not interested in that fight. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. What's the point of that fight? Why are y'all giving it to us now? Why didn't y'all been give it to us? Why didn't y'all been give it to us? Why y'all want to give it to us now? Adam Hurley, salute. He said, I like your name. He said, I like your new podcast name. Didn't you used to be called Bud Crawford Beats No Credit Canelo? Yes, sir. That was me. Before that, Bud Crawford Beats Easy Roof Spence. I also had a channel called Bud Crawford Beats Bud Crawford Stops Running Back Sean Porter. I had some catchy names though. So yeah, that's me, buddy. That's me. But the GOAT of boxing has retired, so I had to change the name. Terence Crawford retired. I had to change the name to BTA Boxing, Belt to Ass Boxing. Hey yo, Michael, salute, man.
Okay.
I think you having a little issue with your signal sound.
Okay.
It's like coming in and out. It's
No.
coming in and kicking you out for some reason.
Okay, let me leave and come back in.
I can't hear you right now though. Dang. Maybe it's the Earl sexuals trying to stop Michael from coming on the show. Cause like what? Why y'all stopping Michael from coming on the show, man? Let the man come on. He keep trying to come on, but his mic is whatever the situation is preventing him from coming on. Yo, Michael, can you hear me? Dang, I can't hear you. I don't know what you got headphones on. It could be the headphones or Bluetooth or something. Either headphones, Bluetooth. It's something preventing you from talking. I can't hear you for some reason. I don't know why.
Can you hear me?
I thought Michael was Keyshawn for a second. Hey yo, no, that's not Key.
Can you hear me now?
Shout out to Keyshawn though. He's been keeping boxing entertaining, but he just said some bullshit though. He said Mexicans. He said Mexicans run the sport of boxing. I disagree. There's some good Mexican fighters, but they don't run the sport of boxing. Um, the best fighters in boxing has always been the African American fighter, black. So I don't understand what Keyshawn is talking about. He's saying some bullshit. Hey, yo, Michael, salute. Dang, I don't know what it is, Michael. Is it the Earl sexuals? Something's going on with your mic today. It works every time. All them other times you come on, I can't hear you for now for some reason. I don't know. Maybe you gotta refresh your YouTube. So get off YouTube and refresh it and exit out all. This is what you do. All right, refresh everything. There's some really good American fighters. Keyshawn being one of them. Adam Hurley, salute. Absolutely. Um, there's some really good fighters, and all the best fighters come from America. But I don't know what the heck is Keyshawn talking about. Some of the best fighters in the world right now. We got Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Keyshawn Davis, Abdullah Mason. Um, it's just too many of them. We could throw Richardson Hitchens in there. We could throw Gary Antoine Russell in there. Um, Javante Davis. We could throw Javante Davis in there. Teofimo Lopez. We could throw him in there. Bam Rodriguez. We could throw him in there. I mean, these guys, yeah, they're Mexicans, but they're Mexican Americans. So, Bruce Shushu Carrington. Yes, they're Mexicans, but they're more American than Mexicans. So, if Keyshawn want to be technical, he could have said there's a lot of dominant Mexican American fighters instead of saying Mexicans run the sport of boxing. Uh, I still can't hear you for some reason. I don't know what it is, Michael. You might have to like exit everything out the YouTube, refresh everything or something. I don't know why I can't hear you for some reason. It could be on my part. I don't know. It could be on my part and not your part. But I can't hear you at all. I don't know why. Oh yeah, Bruce Carrington just became a world champion. Bruce Carrington is definitely the future. The only thing with me and Bruce Carrington, he's trying to rush his career. He's trying to fight Inoue. I don't think he should fight Inoue right away. I think he should wait. I don't advise him to go ahead and fight Inoue right away. Everybody wants him to rush his career and go fight Inoue. I don't advise that. Um, I think he needs to be more polished. He needs to clean up his division before he even goes after Inoue. So if I was in his corner, I would tell him, don't rush your career, buddy. You just became a world champion. Go become a unified champion before you call out a guy like Inoue. That's what I would tell him. So I don't know why he's trying to rush his career and go fight Inoue. I don't think that's a great idea. I think it's a terrible idea to rush your career and go fight Inoue right away. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to these fights in 2026. And the only fight, like I said, I'm not looking forward to is Mayweather versus Pacquiao too. But anyway, y'all, it's your boy BTA Boxing, and I'm out. I might come back on this thing a little later. Oh, man.